What's going on, everybody? Welcome to EBA Today, Episode 7. I'm your host, The Truth JGW, and I appreciate y'all checking me out. Today's show is going to be a little bit different. The original purpose of this show was to kind of fill in the gap between when Mags and Ice did their shows. But Ice started doing his show a lot more frequently, so there's no need for me to do a show. Well, there wasn't a need for me to do a show. But I got kind of, I heard people saying that, they want more or, different point of views or whatever. So I'm going to do one, but it's going to be different from the ones I had before when I had a bunch of people who just kind of talk trash or whatever. This one's going to be just a one-on-one interview with Space Jam Shump, so, just check it out. Alright, so I got my guest with me, King Mizart, EBA Season 6, owner of the Los Angeles Clippers, the champion. How does it feel?
It feels good, dude. Finally won it in EBA, came up short last season, but we took it this season, so I'm proud of my guys.
So when you came up against the Celtics, did you know that, we got this, or was you kind of still worried about it?
No, my final was the Warriors. So when when we got past the Warriors, we knew we won the ring.
Right. How was that series against the Warriors? Was it stressful? Was it harder than you thought?
It was It was stressful because the Warriors are just OP, and Shump's a jack with Curry. But we had a game plan that I was gonna. I don't really play big, but we had a game plan that I was gonna play big and play on Blake Griffin and just try to have the Draymonds beat us, because besides him having a lot of people quit on him, if I was to go back and give him advice on bidding, it would be to prioritize his big men more, because he really had weak Draymonds and weak JaVale McGee's also.
Yeah. Now, before we talk more about EBA, I want to back up a little bit and let's just talk about you, the person. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm a full-time student. A little bit older in the 2K community, 26. I live in Chicago. That's pretty much it, dude.
I got you. So when did you first start hearing about the EBA, and when did you first get involved?
I've always played in other leagues, and King John actually asked me to sign up to the EBA, and because he was the owner, so I think it was season 3.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think it was season 3. He had the Bulls. They're terrible. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Butler was injured, Pau Gasol was injured, Taj got injured. It was literally the Derrick Rose show. So, that's when he got me. It was me, Too Cool, and George. We all signed up that season. When I say George, I'm talking about G-Money.
Uh-huh.
So we all signed up that season. We played with that AIDS Bulls team. But, we saw how it was structured, and we all liked the league, and some of us more than others, and, we stuck to it. And then I'm not sure what came after that. Oh, after that, it came, I was on the Trailblazers on Trainer's team.
Ew.
It was a fun season, honestly, with Trainer. He's a cool guy. I met some new people. I was originally bidded on the Raptors. Then before the season started, they traded me to the Blazers to Trainer.
Uh-huh.
And then as that went by, we started off strong, and then people stopped, showing up or stopped caring. So I had demanded a trade, and I went on the Thunder, playing Russell Westbrook, and we won. That was my first EBA championship.
Oh, okay.
So that was with Realist when Karo benched himself in the finals, and Realist won off in Game 7.
Okay, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really my history with EBA. After that, it was the All-Star season. I had KD with I Don't Lose Much, and that's what really got me into becoming an owner because, we were undefeated, and the man lost his internet, at the end of the season, and it threw us off because we ended up forfeiting in the playoffs, and we didn't lose a game in the regular season. So, that's what really made me want to be an owner because I didn't want something like that happening to me again.
Yeah.
And you know how it was at 2K17. We had the Timberwolves. We choked in the playoffs. And then this season, Clippers, we finally won it.
Yeah, now what happened exactly with the Timberwolves last season? Because y'all were one of the best teams easily. And, I don't understand what happened fully. Because I ain't really, talk to you like I'm talking to you now to get an answer.
Okay, so last season, Timberwolves, we had the best regular season record. We end up getting a first round bye, and some of my players got a little too comfortable, and when it came time to play the Cavs, I had some trouble with a couple of people showing up. Like my starting point guard didn't show up for 2 games, so I had to move to the point guard and play 2 games. And then honestly, it was just a whole bunch of people not showing up. It was 2 to 3 people that didn't show up, or we had to change up the lines. But realistically, I mean, the Cavs did a good job in playing defense against us, and we just blew it. But I think if we had our full team, because I mean, Dimes had some last minute emergency come up for him, and he had to miss 2 games at point guard. And then one of our shooting guards, who was on Levine, playing good all season.
Right.
Wasn't able to show up. And also I had Ace Boogie, and he missed 2 games also. So it was a little bit rough with people not showing up. But, I mean, we still took it to Game 6 and ended up losing Game 6.
Talk to me a little about this season and how this season that you was able to finally get it done.
Okay, so this season my game plan in the bidding was I GM'd G, which I was planning to, and I re-signed Too Cool. So right then I knew that I had 2 of the top 3 to 4 centers in the EBA.
Right.
So I had to cater my team around that. I mean, I'm assuming the top 4 centers in EBA are G, Too Cool, E Money, and Let's Get It Boy.
Right.
So I ended up wasting pretty much all my money on Majestic. I think he was around $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just decided to fill up everyone else around him with 500K players. So, I mean, I knew some people from other leagues that I ended up getting. I had talked to King Havoc earlier, and I knew I was going to try to bid on him, so thank God no one bid on him.
Right.
I got him for 500K, and he ended up being huge, especially in the playoffs. Because, I mean, he's a 500K point guard that was outplaying a lot of these, so-called stars with Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford. So that was a huge pickup for me. So once I had, that core with Too Cool G and Majestic, and then I ended up getting a guy like King Havoc and Grum Squad for 500K, I knew I had a shot. We just had to get it together in the regular season. Because, I mean, you were on my team.
Yep.
So, I mean, what I like to do is different than most owners. I like to just have 2 steady lines all season, and we were having a lot of scheduling issues because a lot of people couldn't play on certain days. And
I know it.
And that's why I ended up having to trade you, even though I was reluctant on doing that. But I ended up getting Ice, and I knew his schedule was open, so, I mean, that's how we went from there. But I knew I had to get a team that revolved around my big man. That's why I was so happy when the Clippers fell.
Yeah, why did you think the Clippers fell? They are easily second, third best team on the game.
I mean, people were worried about Blake Griffin not coming back. But, I mean, to be honest, I didn't care if we had Blake or not. I think we would have won with a healthy Chris Paul and a healthy DeAndre and, the JJ Redick and the Wesley Johnsons of the team. But people were scared of Blake being out, and they didn't want to risk it. But I mean, when Blake was out and Chris Paul was out, I'm not gonna lie, that was a very, very hard team to play with.
Yeah, I bet. I don't think I experienced that. I think I was gone before Chris Paul got hurt.
Yeah, and that was a huge hit. I mean, thank God I hopped off point guard because I could not play with Jamal Crawford.
All right. So you won the championship this season and everything. Let's talk about Pro-Am. Did you play Pro-Am? I know you're on the Pro-Am team, but which one?
Well, I started off the season on Space Jam.
Uh-huh.
I was a bench player on Space Jam, so not something to be. I mean, I played games, but I knew I wasn't going to be starting with them. I ended up getting an offer to play with the EBA guys with For Life.
Yeah.
So I might be breaking the rules, but I was playing on G Money's account in the Pro-Am tournament. But I didn't, we don't account share in EBA and stuff. But I ended up having to play on his account in the tournament. We lost first round to I forgot what team we lost to, but we lost in overtime. But right now, I'm currently not on a Pro-Am team. I don't enjoy Pro-Am.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like playing on Superstar with 99 overalls. I think it's just a game style that you have to play to compete in Pro-Am is corny to me. So I try to avoid it as much as possible because, I mean, what's the fun in everyone shooting 70%? There's no such thing as defense.
Right. And you mean the defense where everybody's standing in a corner and you just pick and roll point guard, pretty much?
Pretty much.
4
pretty
out,
much.
5 out. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, you have 40 badges and a 95 overall, you're going to make a lot of shots, especially when you're playing on Superstar difficulty. So, I mean, I got nothing but respect for the Pro-Am guys. It's not, I mean, I started off team up in 2K9 when it came out.
Right.
And I mean, I've always, like dabbled into the crew or the park or the Pro-Am, but it's not, it's my secondary thing compared to the team up leagues.
If you've been playing that long, what took you so long to find this group of people? Because, as you know, there was another website before this one, and they had like a whole bunch of seasons. I don't know I guess what took so long for you to hop on over.
I mean, honestly, I never heard about it.
Really?
To be honest, the first time I heard that team up leagues were available were pretty much a month before. The first team up league I ever played in was 2K14, and it was literally a month before 2K15 came out. So 2K15, I really started playing in the leagues, but I played in another league, not VBA. I played in, it was called TP leagues, but that thing didn't last.
Yeah.
But I mean, I never really knew about the organized team up leagues. I mean, before it was just playing out of the party, constant out of the party games. And I mean, half of them were like, we would play PayPal games, or you'd get 10 people and try to have 2 captains and draft and try to play for money.
Oh, okay. You know why TP leagues failed, right?
I have no clue, but I was an owner in that, and it lasted about a week.
A lot of those guys who hopped over there were League Arena rejects, like people who did fucked up shit in League Arena, and then they couldn't play there anymore, so they went to TP leagues. But when you got assholes running TP leagues, of course it's not gonna last.
Yeah, I mean, I had a horrible team, so I was kind of happy when it didn't last.
Oh man, yeah. If only you was there for the League Arena days.
Yeah, I heard the good old days where you guys had. I mean, it was popping. I mean, not saying EBA isn't popping, but
yeah, because I guess what really hurt the numbers big time is the hop to from 360 to Xbox One. Because my first playthrough was on, I want to say 2K14, maybe. Yeah, it had to be 14 on 360. Where we struggling with D-League, TC now, but they had a whole D-League with championships for them and everything on top of a normal league. But a lot of people didn't make the jump over when the new systems came out.
Yeah, it was kind of hard because a lot of people were choosing, PS4 and Xbox. And I remember when that whole transition was going on that a lot of people didn't really make it over, or they didn't translate from the 360 to the Xbox One.
Right. Yeah, and I was late getting my Xbox One too. I was happy with my 360. But anyway, now I know before I asked you for the interview, or when I asked you to do the interview, you said you had a lot you want to get off your chest. So have at it, sir.
Yeah, I mean, fresh off a money league championship, with my same group of guys, fresh off an EBA champion. So right now, I mean, who's the king of the castle? I mean, I don't know. Everyone claims to be 2K elite, but what have they done different than I have? I don't get it. So, I mean, I'm asking you, the viewers, a question. What's the difference from these people that claim to be 2K gods or 2K elites from me and from my team? That because I mean we beat you and we beat you in multiple leagues, and I mean I don't care if it's just one season, but I mean how I feel right now is that no one can talk shit to me in any fashion, because I mean what I played in the money leagues that you play in, and I'm the reigning champion that. I play in EBA where all you guys play, and I'm the reigning champion that. I mean, the only person that really could say something to me is Dimes, because I mean he won 50,000 and I didn't, but I mean I still played in that same tournament that he played in.
Right.
So I mean I guess he's the only one with the upper hand on me because he's 50K richer. Out of 2K money at least, but I mean, so I mean, I'm just kind of, fed up with the community, because I mean, everyone thinks they're the shit, but really they're not.
Is there anything else you want to get off your chest, sir?
I mean, that's it. Caro, okay. Oh, yeah, let's touch on EBA news, okay? Caro crying and forfeiting his series, and being this god of an owner, because I took a forfeit. Dude, that man would have done the same thing to me. And I mean, when it comes down to it, I have a life. I mean, I have friends. I have a girlfriend. I got work. I got school. I can't sit around and wait all day for, someone to play team up against me. I mean, 20 minutes is a long ass time. I value my time. I value my day as pretty much, maybe more than anyone in this league. I mean, I'm not going to sit around and wait on someone who, is unemployed and does nothing to, get his five together and whatnot. I mean, if things don't go his way, he's going to cry. I mean, people could say what they want about me about taking the forfeit, but hey, I know for a fact that man would have done the same thing to me if it was his decision.
Yeah, I think he would have. And I think mainly what it is he just took the way out of...
He took the coward's way out. They were not going to beat us.
Yeah, so he just used it as an excuse of why he couldn't win the championship without the Warriors. You know what I mean?
And I mean, that season we were in the money league and we were in the conference finals. If that series is not started by a certain time, that commissioner would disqualify you. So I couldn't take the risk. I mean, we were already running late. I couldn't take the risk to, play 2 games and then I would end up starting my other series at a late time and probably be up till 2 or 3 in the morning. So, I mean, hey, I'm going to prioritize my life over anyone else's. So you can call it what you want to call it, but I mean, look where I am and look where he is.
Right. Speaking of your team, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you got an announcement you want to make? That's what G said, at least.
Yeah, I mean, of course that greedy bastard wants his awards. So I mean, he is going to be Finals MVP. I didn't know I had the right to give it out, but
okay, that's what he was talking about. Okay.
Yeah. So he's going to be Finals MVP, and he just wants to hear it out of my mouth because I don't want to give it to him, but I mean, his stats wise, he deserves it.
Right.
Stats wise, he deserves it over everyone else, and realistically, I should give it to myself because I didn't lose a game this playoffs and he did. But we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, I'm going to give it to G. I mean, Majestic always, Majestic plays his ass off. I mean, without him, we wouldn't have won. But if we're just going to go based off stats, G and Too Cool really carried us all season. I mean, Majestic also gets overlooked because he averaged 17 and 17 with a 70 overall point guard. So, I mean, I got to give him his props. I mean, we wouldn't be nowhere without him. So,
Right, and
But I mean, we're gonna give Finals MVP to G.
yeah, and I played with them, and yeah, Majestic do get looked over. Like he really did his thing. Like the few games I did get to play, with him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for him because he's been on my team for 2 seasons. First season I gave him Chris Dunn, and then second season I gave him Chris Paul, but it ended up being Austin Rivers and Jamal Crawford. So, I mean, hands down, he's one of the best point guards in the league. It's just that, you know, people value points over, you know, points responsible for, and I mean, he's probably one of the best passers in the league, hands down.
Right.
I mean, he's damn near averaging 20 and 20.
Yeah, and now I can see kind of how good he really is. You know, that he's in a team that he's comfortable with. Because I know he was put in places before where he's just like, yeah, screw this. My next question for you is, you plan on coming back as owner next season?
Okay, so that's the question that everyone's been asking me. I feel like I have to just because I won, but I am losing G most likely, as my GM. And I mean, he does a lot for me, you know, when it comes to stats and lines and just helping me throughout the whole season. I mean, so I don't know what exactly I want to do. I mean, it's just hard because he helps a lot with stats and, you know, that is something that's very important to me because I do think that we should have accurate and you know, correct stats all season. Right. So, I mean, he wants to go and play the wing though, and I don't know if I can, you know, sacrifice that 35% of your salary or whatever just for, George to play point guard. I mean, I'm not saying he's bad at it, but just the way I want to, just, you know, the way that EBA is played in my camp, at least, you know, mostly big men are prioritized. So I don't know exactly what I'm planning on doing, but I mean, most likely I am coming back as owner. I want to at least try to defend, you know, the ring that we got.
Right. All right. Well, as you know, I'm the VPLO, and my job is just to pretty much try to keep the league afloat and going and stuff like that. Do you have any changes you would like to see, or anything you want to just ask me specifically?
I do think we need a revamping of the TC system. I see everyone putting ideas, and you know I respect that because I just don't like how the TCs are, you know, ran right now.
Right.
And I think everyone really has the same opinion in regards to that. It's just really hard to find a fix with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I don't blame you guys for that. Honestly, that's all I really care about. I mean, I don't want to start the league prematurely. Before, you know, when I first started, I was all for, like, you know, let's get it going. But I do see the importance of a good staff and, you know, a good pool of players, because I mean, I do feel like last year just a bunch of people were signed up for this league and they had no clue what they were getting into, because I felt like there was more blacklists this year than there was the previous year, and there was, you know, less amount of quality, you know, active players. So, I mean, I do want to hold off and really, when you're recruiting someone, just to really explain it to them. It's not like every other league. I mean, it's different, and that's what makes it special. You know, you've got to really go into detail and explain how the league is ran to, you know, these new people that you're bringing over, because you really can't, you know, bully your way into a team and, you know, complain about who you have and whatnot.
Right. And I asked Shump about this when I did the interview with him, and I want to ask you the same thing. Is like, and you're a new owner, like, why do you feel that some owners are not going out of their comfort zone and picking up people? Because I know plenty of active people who hardly played this season, but everybody's complaining about not having nobody to play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think people are worried that people are going to quit on them. But I mean, I don't think that that's like a valid excuse, honestly. Honestly, I can't give you the answer. I know people have clicks, you know. I mean, not everyone is cool on this Xbox, you know, quote unquote cool that you know you talk to and you know you could be in a party with. Some people are, you know, just they're naturally toxic. Like I don't know how to explain it. I mean,
Right.
I had someone on my team this season that was just he was just a dick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess they're just scared to go out of their comfort zone because they've been playing with the same group of people so long. But I mean, you also have to. But I mean, sometimes when you do step out of your comfort zone, you get bit in the ass with some players that don't want to play on your team and will just complain and you know until they get their way. And sometimes you know they have the upper hand, and you don't want to keep someone like me personally. I had the best record in the league last season, and someone didn't want to play on my team, so I'm not going to hold him hostage because I don't want. I want to beat that player, but unfortunately, I ended up giving him up, and he ended up going to the Warriors and winning. But
Right.
I mean,
Baby.
I don't know. Yeah, I traded Baby. I mean, I'm still cool with him. He's cool, but he really wanted to go play Warriors, and he kept calling me. He kept calling me Crow. So I said, okay, I'm not going to deal with that. I'll just go ahead and trade you to the man if you've got his dick in your mouth.
Right. I mean, because like I see a guy like Z actually, for example. He might not be like the best player, but he's always available to play, and nobody even like tries to like pick him up or anything like that. Like, why wouldn't you want to pick up a staff member that you know that's going to show up all the time? But people just kind of just get their same guys.
I'm going to keep it honest. If I knew that Z actually was, active and I could get for 500K and he could take orders, I mean, people overrate this 2K skill a little bit too much, in my opinion. Like, people have these images in their head that, this guy sucks at 2K. But realistically, if you can just teach people a system to play and, go out and be a good leader and have good players around him, you're not going to get, obviously, the best five like you can if, you're able to bring your own five or whatnot.
Right.
But, I mean, you could win. And, I mean, I never played with Ice at all. I never played with you at all.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, on our team, both you guys did your job and did it well. I mean, we just communicated and told, exactly what we want to do. And no one in this league really is brain dead. They all watch basketball. So they all watch basketball and know how this game is played and, put some time into this game. So, I mean, I don't know why no one would bid on Z actually. I mean, if I knew that he would just listen and, is active, I would honestly give him a shot. But I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't do much tryouts last season. I pretty much saw how people played during the previous EBA season.
Yeah.
And then just gave him a shot. But I mean, I'm open to doing tryouts. I mean, I don't know if we should do like a mandatory tryout and just, make some owners try out some people before the draft. But I mean, that wouldn't be a bad idea.
We couldn't make anybody do anything. And I think Shump brought this up when I asked him about it. It's like people like Trainer, he didn't do any scouting. He just like, let's say you did a few scouting games and you saved some screenshots for for a reference to go back to. Trainer just sit back and just take your screenshots and like, oh, okay, this guy did good, this guy did good, and he put like the whole list of them,
Yeah, on the bid 'em up list. I mean, honestly, that guy is the pretty much the plug if you want to know what's, who's going where or whatnot. But I don't know. I don't know how we could fix that issue. But I mean, I do see it being an issue because a lot of people do want to play and they just never get the shot. But I'm not sure what the solution would be.
Yeah, well, the only solution would be it's really in the hands of whoever steps up and be owner. Like, most people just take owners because they know they can get their guys, but nobody is just really willing to put in the real work into being a good owner. Like kind of finding guys and leading and everything like that.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you on that.
I don't want to keep you running too long. So, is there anything you like to say or ask or anything before I let you go?
No, I mean, I'm good. I'm happy we won, obviously.
I'm not. I'm kind of salty.
Yeah, you should have been here with us.
Yeah, it's all good. It's just my luck. Like, I was on that Thunder team. I don't think you was here, but I was on that Thunder team that we should have won and we didn't win. So it's just my luck. But
Have you won before in EBA?
hell no, I'm always on the worst team. Always.
Man, maybe you need to, step up as owner next season. And
God no, I could not do it. I could not do it. My
babysit these grown ass men.
Yeah, I can't do it. Like, my first season, I was on the Clippers. The owner quit, and we ended up being the worst team. Second season, Thunder. We should have went to the finals, but we didn't. We couldn't get it done in the playoffs. And every season after that, it's all a blur. But I'm always on the worst team. Like, I was on the Knicks last season. Jay Snyder quit. I was on the Evidence team. Trailblazers imploded.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought I was putting you in a decent situation.
Nope.
But I got a question for you. What do you think about the? I'm not going to bring up the same situation like the Warriors being banned, but what would you suggest in regards to that? Because I see people talking about having no Warriors and Cavs. Some people are talking about taking out the playoff teams. Do you want to take out some teams? Do you want to leave it as is? Would you like to go back to the old method where it's not the weighted cap? Or what would you suggest?
If I was running an evil dictatorship, I would have just have things my way. I would have took out the Warriors. I would have took out the Clippers. I would have took out the Cavs. I would have took out the Raptors. Those are the top two teams on both sides. On East and West, and then just have at it from there. That way, you get a few more interested teams and nobody's overpowered, but you still have like decent teams to pick from. I've found that's the easiest solution. The cap really didn't do anything. I don't know. I didn't like the weighted cap. I don't really think I think Shump could have got the exact same team that he had with or without the cap, without it being weighted. I feel like almost everybody could have got the same team they had, or that's what they would have ended up with regardless, because people just bet on their friends anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So it didn't really make a difference.
I see your point. I kind of like the weighted cap just because it takes away a little bit from these teams. One other thing I would suggest, what about the random conferences? I saw that being brought up. I think that's a good idea, just to keep people from choosing these whack East teams just to avoid competition. There's so many better teams, in my opinion, that get left out because they're in the Western Conference.
Yeah, I would be down for it, but I think previously people just said let's just keep it sim, so it's never been a huge push to randomize it. But if people want to randomize it, I don't have a problem with it, and it could be fun, or it could be something we could do just to switch it up, because 2K is getting kind of old now, so that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. So it's a possibility.
I agree. I think we should really look into that. It was brought up. I think Garbage Assassin brought it up, and it's kind of been lingering in my mind for these past couple days. So I think it's a good idea, and we should consider it.
It would definitely be a thing we'll talk about once the season is over. I guess once James get a new staff, and then they can all decide it. Would you ever be a staff member?
Yeah, I would. If I stepped down from owner and went into bidding, I would apply for staff right away. I don't know. I'm really stuck. I kind of want to go into bidding because I had fun when I met a new group of guys when I did go into bidding, but I honestly don't know what I want to do. It's either I stay at this owner because I feel like I need to defend this championship, but I go in without G, which we had agreed to at the beginning of the season to, right. We would be owner GM for 2 seasons, and we'd move on after that, and go into bidding. But I feel like I'm obligated to stay now.
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I'm at a crossroads. But I mean, I would consider staff. I thought about it. I mean, I'm just a student right now, so I got extra time. But
Right.
I mean, so I mean, I wouldn't mind helping. I mean, I already tried doing the most as I can right now.
Yeah.
With posts and stuff.
Well, from me to you, I say stay owner. Stay owner and hold on to it for dear life. Because me, I'm not one of the guys that's like, in the cool group or clicked up with a bunch of people and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like as you kind of found out this season, like just talking with me, I'm a real cool person. I'm real easy to deal with, but I struggle, to even make teams and stuff like that. And no matter how good I do, and it can be rough out there because you end up on the Trailblazers or the Knicks, and you have no control of the situation. So stay owner, and you have all the control of the situation. You can avoid it.
Yeah, I feel you on that one, dude.
But I appreciate the time you took out for me. Any last words before I let you go?
No, man, it was cool talking to you as always. Cool dude. I respect you and your opinions. And what you do for the league. So we appreciate that.
I appreciate that, man. All right, thanks for joining me, and I'll catch y'all later.